Here we go. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, the
of December.
I mean, I'm looking at my watch, but I've realized I can't actually read it without my glasses on. I think it's the 14th. I think it could be. I may have worked that out just from
Yes, it is 14th.
Tina just looked at your what? Yes, she's thumbs up. Okay, thanks for that. The 14th of December. Welcome to class, guys. We've got a few new faces, I think, just a few new faces. So if you are brand new, make sure that if you're not sure about whether or not you want to join in, you just know that there's permission to sit and watch or lie in your bed and watch. We really have no expectation about what you do or don't do when you're with us, okay? The most important thing is that you're with us and you get to kind of hang out with everyone as a group. If you want to watch on gallery view just to see what people are up to, that's great. If you just want to stick with watching me, that will be on the speaker view. If you are going to join in, then you'll join in and you'll work with me. I will only ever really show level 1, and we do very, very small amounts of movement for Ross's reconditioning, and then we can do my yoga, breathing, relaxation, stretching bit, okay? Remember, all of it is your choice. It's in your hands, so we offer you the things that you can do, and you can choose. You can pick and choose. You don't need to do everything. You can sit out certain bits, okay? So we'll just keep stressing that to you. You don't have to do everything that we do. Please make sure you have lots of water to hand, okay? Because I think we all know serious levels of hydration are important for recovery from this kind of virus. So make sure that you are constantly taking little bits in so your heart doesn't have to work any harder than it's already doing in your recovery. We have a level 1, level 2, level 3 thing that we talk about. If you're new, you do not need to pay attention to level 2 or level 3 instructions at all. Ross, anything I've not said, please fill in the blanks.
Nailed it all. I think level 2 and 3 is, you've got some weights if you want to use those, you can, and resistance bands if you wish, always optional. Hats are also optional as well. Me and Sophie are rocking ours. It's up to you if you want to bring yours. Good. Otherwise, I think we should get cracking. What do you think, Susie? Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay. Good.
Excellent. All right. A blanket. Did we say that? A blanket or a cape?
I would definitely get a blanket for our relaxation section. Okay, when we get to lie down. So I'm going to get my blanket from my chair. I don't want it to be the same color as my leggings, otherwise I'm just going to disappear into the blanket. So I'll have a blue one. I think it's important to coordinate.
It always is, absolutely.
I don't have socks on. I'm realizing this is a major faux pas, but there we go. There's nothing I'm going to do about it now.
Just have to buy you some more. Okay, good. If you want to get a yoga belt, guys, as well, it doesn't have to be a yoga belt per se. It can be anything you've got that resembles a yoga belt, like a dressing gown cord or the like. Okay, we're going to start lying down on our back, just like Susie is showing us. Legs bent, making sure we're comfortable. So making sure we're working on a soft surface.
Get the pets settled.
Exactly.
Oh. If you know you're not very good lying on your back flat, okay, it's really important that you don't. But you can work with an adjusted thing. So I would put a pillow and then a cushion on the pillow so that you're elevating the spine and then the head again. All right, but please don't ever do anything that just really doesn't work for you, okay? Because everyone will be slightly different around where their comfort levels lie. All right.
Good. Zoe E is loving Liz's dog. Okay, good. The dog's in the way. It's all right, Liz. We'll wait for you. It's okay. No, it's not happening. Okay. Okay. We're going to lie down then, guys. We're going to have our feet on the mat or the floor or the bed, and we're going to be lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. So we're basically doing what's called bridge. This is a great one for glutes, great one for hamstrings. Works a little bit of the lower back, a little bit of the lower core as well. So if you're new to class, you may just want to try 1 rep and rest down. Okay, if you're taking it easy, same thing. It's a maximum of 4 reps if you're level 1.
If you're brand new, I want you to just do maximum of 2. If you haven't already stopped, I'm doing 2, and I'm going to come down to rest. So it's important that you do less than you think you can at the very beginning. Okay, there's plenty of time for you to kind of get through and do more, but we need to retrain the autonomic nervous system so it's less sensitive to movement. So basically we do a tiny little bit and we come back to safety, a tiny bit, come back to safety. That's how this program works. It's not at all anything like exercise until really you get to level 3 and you're working with multiple reps and you're working with a little weight and resistance. But until then, you're just stretching up a little and coming back down.
That's it. Great. If you're still working with this one, guys, let's make these the last couple of reps. And we're going to get ready for the next exercise, which is going to be upper body. So if you are level 2 or 3, remember you can use small hand weights for this one. It's going to be flies and press for the chest and arms. So we're going to bend the legs, like Susie's doing. If you're level 1, we're just not going to worry about extra equipment here. We're just going to make a fist like Susie's doing. We're going to take the arms wide, keeping those hands in line with the chest the whole time. Little bend in the elbow, back to center, and then turning those hands, dropping them down to the chest nice and slowly, pressing up nice and slowly. Great. If you want to, you can repeat that. If that feels like enough, you can just rest down. So it's that arms wide and press. And we're just resting those legs down, or resting those hands as well. We will feel a real kind of loss of muscle strength in our arms very quickly, especially if you've not been doing very much. We decondition, particularly in the arms, very quickly. Don't be disturbed or alarmed by that. It will come back because we do use our arms significantly in our lives, just moving things, lifting things, carrying things. So don't worry if they feel very shaky and wobbly just doing that, okay? They still make mine feel shaky and wobbly doing that. And I'm actually lifting quite a bit of weight nowadays, so it is actually quite a hard movement. Coming to rest, make sure you're slow breathing each time, so that returning to safety, you can really enhance that state by really letting the body relax and surrender and come to that slow breath in, slow breath out. Remember, if you're at level 0 and you're just watching us, you can just squeeze the muscles in your body. You can give your bum a little squeeze and release. You can give your quads a little squeeze and release. You can just squeeze your arms and let them go. So you're just keeping a little bit of kind of stimulation going. That's all that the body needs when you're in that kind of level 0 state. Great. Well done, everybody. You're still working with those arms. Let's make this the last one. Okay, I really want to know what Audrey's using for her weights. They look like candles. I'm not sure. I'm going to just, don't tell me, Audrey. I'm going to try and work it out by the end of the class. Lifts next. So if you are level 1 or level 0, we're going to have just a support underneath the legs. So back of the knees. Good idea to have a support under the head as well, so a pillow. So if you're level 0 in bed, but you do want to do this one, just put a pillow underneath your knees, and we're just going to straighten out the leg and let it relax, okay? That's it. If you're level 2 or 3 and you want to use a resistance band for this one, you can. It obviously makes it a lot harder. You're going to be up on your elbows as long as that's comfortable for you. So we're lifting the heel off the floor. We're going to point and flex the foot a couple of times, place it down nice and gently, and we'll go to the other side. Do exactly the same thing. Great. So I've done 2 each side, plenty for me. We're just going to rest. These big muscles in the legs don't get as tired as the arms, so don't be afraid of doing just a tiny bit more. If you've been really kind of worried about letting the muscles decondition, these ones are easy to kind of do a little bit with without causing too much of an issue.
Again, come back to rest, slowing down the breath.
Getting some good toe points.
If you are in bed and you've really not got very much energy to move anything, just flexing and pointing your feet every now and again is really good, just to keep a little bit of circulation stimulation going. So movement is really one of the key pillars to kind of physical health. So even if you're just wiggling your toes or giving your hands a little bit of a squeeze, there's always a little bit that you can do.
Good. Okay. So we're going to just rest now, whatever level we are. Coming to the next one, which is going to be half bug. So we're going to have hands up over the head. If you're level 1, I'd really recommend starting with bent legs here. If you're level 0, you could actually just keep the hands down and maybe just try and do a little of the leg lift part. That's all you need to do. Otherwise, we're going to bring the arms down to meet the knee as it comes up. If you're level 2 or 3 and you want to make this a bit harder, you're going to actually have the legs straight here. So working those hip flexors a bit more. Great, trying to breathe it out as those limbs come together. It's going to really help encourage that core to engage.
Again, just don't get too carried away. Especially if you're new to class. We can get into, oh, this one's going to be good for my core. Oh, my core strength is really diminished because I've not been well, so I'll work on my core strength. But actually, there's a time and a place, all right? To stick with the protocol of doing very, very little amounts at the beginning. Because what we're doing essentially is making sure that the body doesn't drop into post-exertional malaise, PEM, P-E-M. So if you're following the kind of rules, there should be nothing that you do that pushes yourself too far to trigger that, which is why you need to test and retest a few times with the class to just kind of get your baseline right. Andrea, I wonder how, Andrea's, those weights look really big from where I'm lying. I think they might just be near the camera.
This last week, apparently only 1 kilo, she'd said in the group chat last time, I remember.
They look more like 3s from here.
Yeah. Good. Last couple of these, if we're still working. We are going to turn onto our sides now. As long as that's comfortable for you, we're going to go with clamshell. It means if you are level 2 or 3 and you want to make this a little bit tougher, you can, if you wish, and use a resistance band. The level 1, we're not going to worry about any additional equipment. We're just going to concentrate on stacking those hips properly. So left hip on top of right or vice versa. And we're going to lift that top leg up, keeping the heels together. Great. Just a small lift of that knee. It's an intense exercise, this one, so we don't need to do many. If you're level 2 or 3 and you want to put in that extra leg lift element, you can. It's up to you.
The Jane Fonda.
Exactly.
I've done 2 and I'm resting. It's quite a strong exercise, so we're not expecting you to do, even if you're level 3, you don't need to think about having to commit to doing 10, okay? Especially if you've got a resistance band on.
Yeah, in fact, let's make these the last few on this side. So we're just going to take our time, everyone, and just gently roll over onto the other side. Exactly the same as we did on the first side. And just take your time getting there. There's no rush. Making sure you're comfortable, making sure you've got support under the head as well if you need it. Okay, just like we did with the first side, just lifting that top leg.
God. It's almost impossible this week. I think something broke. I think it was all those squats I did for refuge.
Yeah, must be.
I don't think 3,000 squats has helped my clamshell.
Isn't January your 3,000 clamshell challenge, isn't that right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. 3,000 clamshell.
Imagine.
No. No, it's not. It's really not my 3,000 clamshell challenge.
I felt like I physically hurt you with just that suggestion, Susie.
Just the idea.
Sorry.
No. If you're new to class, I hate this exercise. I'm always going on about it whenever we do it, which is why that is quite a terrifying idea.
I don't know why you hate it. It's a great exercise. I love it. Good. All right, guys. We are going to take our time and we're going to come up to a kneeling position, kind of half sit, half kneel. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, for your knees, remember you can do this on a chair instead if you prefer. It's a good opportunity as well to grab a drink. And really take...
Cheers, my friends, my Tuesday drinking friends. There we go. I think most of us won't be getting out much, knowing how much of the new variant seems to be whizzing around. I'm definitely aware that my social plans are limiting themselves by the moment. So if we can take a little cheers moment with our cups of water, we should. I am going to get myself a nice kneeling base so that no part of my knees are going to be stressed by this. But remember, if this isn't comfortable for you, sit on a chair, okay? You don't have to be kneeling, but lots of height does make it a lot better. Okay.
Does we need to be high enough so we can basically swing our arms freely. Good. So if you're level 2 or 3, remember you can use small hand weights for this one. If you are level 1, you're going to follow along with Susie and just make a fist. We're going up with those arms, keeping them straight up in front to shoulder height only. Good. Back down to that starting position and pulling the hands up underneath the armpits. Working the biceps and shoulders, straightening those arms, and they go out behind now. Excellent. It's your ski jumper pose. Arms up under the armpits and then turning them, pressing up over the head, really nice and gently. Good. And that's the whole sequence. So if you're new to class, you may just want to rest after that, and you can rest down into child's pose or supported child's pose. Going again, it's that same up in front to start with, just to build height. Down to start.
Oh, dog.
Good morning, Sue. Out behind. Yeah, great, good.
It's a window cleaner.
Ah.
Does not like the window cleaner. Just to blame her.
Indeed.
A person attacking the front of her home with a big stick. Okay, I'll come to rest. If this position isn't restful for you, be on your side, okay? So this is supported child's pose, Balasana, Supta Balasana. But I want you to make sure that whatever your resting pose is, it's actually restful for you, okay? Because not everyone likes this fold in the leg.
Very true. Make sure you're resting in a comfortable position for you. Oh, Jack has said, Ross, I think Audrey's weights might be petanque balls. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Balls.
Audrey doesn't know. She doesn't know. I will never find out. I like them, Audrey, whatever they are. Very cool. Good. All right. If we're still working with those arms, guys, let's maybe make this the last sequence. And then we're going to choose a good resting position. So you can go along with Susie, go with supported child's pose if you wish. But again, if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, rest down into a position that does work. Okay. Good. We are going to go for back of the body next, which means clearing any cushions or pillows out of the way. We're going to be face down on our mats.
Remember, if you're thinking, oh, I might have done enough now, really listen to that, okay? We'll catch up with you. You don't need to have done everything. We don't vary the content so that you can keep a really good track of your own progress. So you're not going to miss out, because trust me, it's going to be very similar each time you show up.
Good. Yes, the only thing that varies is Susie's noise as well. She's doing clamshell, I think. Right, so Nikki's just asked Susie, in child's pose, are the knees pointed forward or to the side?
Well, do you know what? Because child's pose is designed to be a comfortable, secure, kind of restorative position, I would say do what feels right for you. And that's always my answer to pretty much everything. Because I'm just going to quickly demo my own version. I always bring the bolster between my knees a little bit, because then it brings it right under my chest when I lean forwards. So I can't actually bring my knees together here. But even I notice when I do child's pose in regular class without support, I don't like having the knees together, because it kind of compresses my breathing apparatus a little bit. So a little bit of space actually feels kind of nice, because it allows the abdomen to soften a bit down into that space. Hopefully that answers the question.
Very nice, thank you. Okay, we're going to be lying face down, hands up by the head. We've got one ear to the ground. And if we're level 1, we're going to just be lifting the head. So we lift the head really gently up, we turn the head and just place the other ear down to the floor, just like Susie is demoing. Level 2 is the same, except we lift the hands and the head at the same time. Again, turning the head gently, placing the head down gently to the floor. Level 3, we lift the legs, the hands and the head all together, turning at the top, gently placing it down. Good. Another exercise. It's not a big movement, but it is intense. We definitely feel this. Back of the shoulders, the neck, top of the back in particular. Good. And again, once you've done what feels like the right amount of reps for you, just going to rest in a position that feels comfortable. So if you're happy lying face down, great. If not, you can turn on your side like Susie's doing, or on your back, whatever feels right. Just making sure you're comfortable, making sure you're warm. Great. I think we've just about got time for one more. Why don't we do opposition stretch to finish today? So this is going to be hands and knees. If you feel like you've done enough exercise for today and you want to just rest where you are, that of course is absolutely fine. We'll be coming to Susie's part in a moment. So we're going to be hands and knees otherwise, and we're going to be going with the right arm out in front as the left leg goes out behind, as Susie's demoing here. And then we are just switching to the other side. So it's a left arm, right leg. Keeping that back nice and straight. Good, not lifting the leg too high. Remember, if you're level 2 or 3 here, you can put in a little crunch if you want to.
I thought this one was the press up.
It is. I always get that bit wrong. Okay, so press up instead.
So in between sides, level 2, level 3, you can either do a little bend of the arms, or you can take your nose all the way down and bring it up. Just be aware that obviously that second one is harder. More for level 3.
Triceps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good, and again, once you've finished your reps, resting in a position that feels comfortable for you. That's it, Sarah, get comfy. All right. Good. Good. If we're still working, let's make these the last few reps. Make sure you try to do even numbers as well.
Sophie, your hat's making me laugh. I can just see the kind of bubbly bit. We are expecting, so don't forget, next week there's no Tuesday class. Is that right, Rose? I think so. But there is the Thursday class, and we are going to be doing a Christmas themed special, please. Just be aware. You can either wear something red or Christmassy or stripy socks or something. That's what we're going for. Okay.
You know what you're wearing?
Yeah.
You can't put your sombrero, you know, that doesn't count.
I can't put the Mexican sombrero on for this one. I know.
I mean, you could, but yeah, we're still working with this one. Let's make this the last one.
They don't do Christmas in Mexico in quite the same way.
I've been in Mexico for a few Christmases. It's pretty good. But you're right.
They don't do it. Are we good?
All good.
We hand it over?
Uh-huh. Indeed.
Okay, my little chickens. Thanks, Ross O.
Very welcome.
Well, lucky for you, Ross, with your post-booster feeling a little malaisey. Yeah. You're in the right class, because now you can do a really nice relaxation to get your autonomic nervous system calming down.
My favorite bit.
And you'll feel better. There we go. Okay. We are going to start sitting, but if you're already thinking, I don't want to sit up anymore, don't worry, lie down and we'll catch up with you, okay? But I'm going to sit on a block or a cushion. And we're going to work through that little sequence that we do, just kind of loosening through the hips and the lower back, the shoulders, the neck. It's just a little easier to get access to it all from sitting upright. I've got my right foot in front and I've supported under my knees, okay? So I'm not asking my body to do anything that feels like a stretch. I'm just inviting it to kind of ease out, all right? Okay. So the breathing exercise we're going to do a little bit of today is the box breathing. So it's up to you for how long the counts are for each side of the box. But let's say you're going to breathe in slowly for 4 counts, hold the breath in for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold the breath out for 4 counts. So that might feel too long for you, okay? In which case, bring it down to 3 or just 2. I really don't mind. We're all going to be at slightly different states with this. The idea is you try and keep it as even as you can, all right? So let's just play with that. To start with, to prepare yourself to do some breathing, just notice how you're sitting, or if you're lying down and supported, make sure you've got your chest a little open, the head isn't being kind of squished down into the neck, and that the abdomen isn't being kind of crunched down into by those ribs. We want a little bit of space. That's it. And the first thing I want you to do is simply notice how you're breathing right now. So if I was to observe my breath right now and just notice how deep it reaches down into my trunk, I would say it's kind of reaching down into my mid-chest area and I'm breathing it out. So the purpose of all of these exercises is to kind of get the breath a little deeper, to bring it down into the pelvic bowl. Okay. So I will take a breath in. I'm going to breathe the air out. And now I'm going to breathe in. So whatever you choose to do, maybe it's 3 slow counts in, hold for 3 slow counts, 3 slow counts out, hold for 3 counts. If you can do it for a little bit longer, do it a little bit longer. But I want you to just work through 4 times, no more. And once you've done 4 rounds, just bring the breath back to gentle, normal breath. And you might find that the body then takes a kind of call for a really deep breath, and then you almost sigh that back out. Just notice how you respond internally. We're going to do the stretches for the neck. So our vagus nerve stretches to kind of activate the vagus nerve, which comes up through the sides of the neck, around the back of the ear. So I'm going to take, first of all, my left arm up and draw that left ear down. So I've got this stretch down the side of my neck. I'm going to give it a little bit of a rub. Just ease out. Okay. The hand then goes behind the ear. I'm going to push the skin of the side of the head away from the point where it meets the ear. So I'm just giving a little massage there. And then gently pull the ear away from the side of the head. I'm going to stretch the jaw open and release. Let that arm come, release the head. It's going to feel a little bit stiff. Let's turn one way, turn the other way to center. Lift the chin. Little stretch up the neck. Good. And a little drop of the chin. Stretch down the back of the neck. Okay. I'm going to do the second side straight away. So the arm comes up and over. Let's take the ear down. Take the hand, give it a little gentle rub. Try and keep the chin up off the chest so we're not pushing the head forwards with that hand. That's it. And then those fingers come to the back of the ear. Give them a little rub. A little rub. And then pull the ear. And then let's stretch the jaw wide. And release. Bring it down. Release. If it makes you yawn, this is good. Sometimes the yawn can be a sign that you're kind of reactivating the vagus nerve. You're shifting into that rest repair and the body goes, ah, that's quite a good sign. If you have a lot of yawning, that can mean that you're not getting quite enough oxygen. So some yawning good, lots of yawning, that's good. I'm going to lift my chin up, center the head, drop the chin down. Center the head. Okay. I'm going to take a twist. So I've got my left hand, bringing it to my right knee, and I'm just going to draw the other arm around behind. Take a little squeeze through the torso. Now with that gentle squeeze, I want you to relax the tummy and get the breath down low. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Deep breath in. Bring it back to center. I'm going to take my right hand down to the mat, lean on it, and just take a side stretch. Let's breathe in and breathe out all the way back down. Good. I'm going to turn my chest towards my right knee, hands either side. Keep the bottom down and just allow the upper body to release into a little bit of a side forward bend here. Slow inhale, slow exhale. And lift your head, slowly come back up. Back to center. I'm going to bring my right arm on top of my left. Give myself a little hug. Drop the chin down. Send the breath into the back of the body. And release the arms. Let them settle down, shoulders up, back and down. Good. I'm going to interlock the hands behind the head. Now this one can feel a little bit more tiring because the arms are above the height of the heart. So if this doesn't feel so good, don't do it. Push the head back if you are. Open the chest. I'm going to look up to the right with my eyes. Just hold it here, breathe. Again, this is a vagus nerve toning exercise. Just keep looking up to the right. Let's take a deep breath in. And release those arms down. Hands forwards. If you're sitting, keep the sit bones down. Just drop into a little bit of a forward bend. Breathing into the back of the body. And slowly Gently lift the head and come back up to being upright. Great. I'm going to straighten out my legs. Give them a little release out. And then let's do the other side. So I'm bringing now the left in front of the right. We've already done our neck stretches, so we're good on that one. So we're going to start with the twist. Right hand comes across. The other arm swings around behind, and let's squeeze through the torso. So remember, we're really visualizing all of the internal organs, just getting a little bit of gentle stimulation, a bit of a squeeze, enhanced by taking a slow, deep breath. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring it back to center, all the way back. My left hand to the floor and my right arm stretches up, lengthening out the side. Good. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, bring it back down. Shoulders down. I'm going to take my left arm on top of my right. Give myself a hug. Drop the chin. Slow inhale, slow exhale. We're just holding ourselves here. This is a really lovely stretch because you get the added benefit of a little hug. And release. Let those arms come down. Drop the shoulders down. I'm going to turn my chest towards that left leg, one hand either side. A little bit of a side bend. Let the head drop down. I've got weight in my hand, so I'm not letting the weight of the body drop down heavily. And gently come on up. Bring it back up to center. I'm going to take my hands behind my head again. Let's lift. Push the head back. Remember, if it doesn't feel so good, don't do it. This time I'm going to look up to the left. I'm pushing the back of the head into the hands, opening the chest. Those elbows can come a little wide. If they do, breathe. Just lifting the chin is enough here. Looking up is extra. Elbows back is even more. You've got lots of choice. Inhale. Exhale and release. Let those arms come down. Good. You'll feel the circulation settling back into the arms. They're kind of hot, cold. We're going to go forwards. Last part of the little sequence here. Just release down. Keep the bottom down. Breathe into the back of the body. And slowly, gently, lifting the head. Carefully bring yourself back to being upright. Okay. So we're going to come down onto our back. I'm aware that we always overshoot in this class. I hope that's okay time-wise. I've got my belt. So again, I'm going to lie with my head on a lift, on a support, so I'm not lying flat. And we will be going into our relaxation Shavasana position from here. So make sure your blanket's not too far away. I'm going to put right there. And I'm coming down onto my back. So remember, if lying on your back isn't great for you, put lots of support. So have the back on a pillow and the head on an extra cushion, okay? Especially when we head into Shavasana, you have absolute free rein to put yourself in whichever position you're actually able to relax in. All right. So all we're going to do is this wonderful Supta Padangusthasana, our lovely leg stretches. So I'm going to put the belt around the ball of that right foot and just stretch the leg up in the air. So good. Just to ease out tension, stiffness, poor circulation. I'm going to give my foot a little flex and point as much as possible with the belt still there. Just to kind of stimulate a little bit of extra something around the calf and the Achilles. And then I'm simply releasing that leg down. That's it. I'm going to change the feet around, put that foot in the belt. And again, just a little flex and point. Nothing complicated. There we go. And when you're ready, just release it down. Great. I'm going to bring my knees in both for a little bit of a hug. And just take a rock and a roll over the lower back. So that's pushing the knees slightly away from the chest now, so that you can feel the back of the hips down on the floor. And that roll from side to side, really good, just for kind of increasing a bit of blood flow there, giving everything a little bit of a squeeze. Perfect if we're not particularly active, just to keep things moving. Keep the lymph moving, the interstitial fluid in the body moving. Movement is so beneficial for your well-being, but at the right level, at the right kind of pitch for you, okay? Now we're heading into Shavasana. Now it's blanket time. If you're lying on your back, I'd highly recommend something under your knees so that your breathing is made much more relaxed, because the abdominal muscles are nice and soft. Get that blanket on, get your socks on. Whatever you're doing, get yourselves comfortable and warm. That's it. So if you're already in bed, maybe you just want to lower the head down a bit, maybe want to adjust something, do whatever it is that you need to do. And then close your eyes. So we're coming down into this absolutely delicious state of stillness. And I think it is important to just, first of all, take a little body scan and notice what's going on. What sensations are there? There might be some which are great. There might be some which are less pleasant. There might just be a general feeling of ill health or exhaustion, or maybe there's vibration going on in the body. Whatever it is, I want you to just see if you can find a sense of peace with it. It is how it is right now. And what we know, we absolutely know this, is that everything will change. Nothing is permanent. And so just trust that this space that you inhabit right now will gently change shape. And we can help that shape change by coming down into a state of deep rest. So we're bringing our focus back to the breath in the nose. I want you to take all of your awareness to the temperature of the air as you breathe in, and then the temperature of the air as you breathe out. Notice where in the nose you feel that cooler air moving in, and then where in the nose you feel the warmer air moving out. It's a slightly different place. Now check that the jaw is free of tension, the tongue is soft, the tip of the tongue is resting against the lower teeth. The back of the head is sinking down into your comfortable support. The whole of the back of the body surrendered down, like you were gently melting, easing down, melting away the stress, melting away the tension, just leaving you. And that soft rise and fall, expansion and contraction of the ribcage with the breath. And with every exhale, we're allowing ourselves to let go of anything that doesn't serve, any fear, any discomfort. And just stay right here in this moment. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Just repeating the words inside your head. I am safe. I am warm and I am relaxed. as we do with our Tuesday class, we encourage you to stay here for a few minutes longer or as long as you like. And take your rest. Give yourself this time and this space. And I'm going to log out, and we'll see you all hopefully on Thursday, if not before. Lots of love. Take care until then. Goodbye.